Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's album reviews. It's album reviews.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Album or Brews, the stickiest music podcast. If you like your coffee hot, I'll be your coffee pot. My name is Sarah.
I have a pair of interstellar gator skin boots. My name is Zach.
Wait, no, really?
Yeah. And a little finger, and I ride it endlessly.
See it now on our OnlyFans.
I'm that little lady sitting on the passenger side. Hi, my name is Kassie.
Yeah.
We all had lyric intros. That was nice.
I
didn't
like
even plan that.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah.
If you were also on the internet in 2013, specifically on Tumblr, you would know that today we are talking about none other than the Arctic Monkeys' international breakout hit studio album, AM. And we have a very special guest with us. Kassie, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I too was on Tumblr in 2013. This album means a lot to me. I'm super excited to unravel everything. Yeah, let's get into it.
So you guys went to high school together in Milwaukee, right?
We went to
Middle
middle
school.
together.
Yeah.
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 All right.
We're 2 years apart.
Yeah.
I'm Lindsay's, which is Sarah's sister's best friend.
T.
Oh.
So that's how I know Sarah is
Okay.
through Lindsay.
Kassie,
Oh,
when you
yeah.
were on Tumblr, were you reblogging the Arctic Monkeys?
Bitch! Absolutely.
I think it's worth noting that there were a lot of different sides of Tumblr,
oh, yeah.
quote unquote, during that era of the internet.
Can you explain it to someone who was not on Tumblr in 2013, who is also in this room?
Yeah, for sure. So
Uh-huh.
Roscoe on Tumblr in 2013, there were kind of a lot of really popular things happening, some of which are kind of being revived right now.
It was like a precursor to Twitter, right? But it was like GIFs and memes, and
sort of. It
you could
more so
reblog an image you liked, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot more blog focused, and I think a lot of the magic of Tumblr was about building your personal Tumblr page.
Mhm.
So if you were like
Like
me,
a mood board, right?
kind of, yeah.
That's what I used it for. I used it more for a mood board.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people use it more so for themselves, made it a mood board. Some people, like myself, took it kind of seriously and got into the back end and copied clips of code, HTML
Oh.
code, to make the cursor when someone visited your Tumblr page have glitter trailing behind it,
Oh.
or insert a pixelated GIF of Patrick Stump floating in the corner of your page.
You
Me.
did that.
Me. I was at a weird sort of intersection. I kind of took Tumblr seriously. I had, not to brag, it's now been deleted. I'm not going to
I
reveal.
was gonna say, can we share? Can I look at this? Does it exist still or no?
There are probably traces of it on the internet, and I kind of regret doing this, but I deactivated it
Okay.
from the Tumblr
Mhm.
website.
Mhm.
But I had a couple thousand followers,
Nice.
and I was in 2 BuzzFeed articles
That's
during my
right.
Tumblr career. And I was at kind of the intersection of band nerd and comedy, memery.
So you did, in fact. Well, question for both of you. You guys
Yeah.
both did, in fact, interact with the Arctic Monkeys on said Tumblr.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For me, it was one of the main things I searched.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was yeah, I'm into the bands. Let me see all of it. Arctic Monkeys, the 1975,
Classic.
the XX. That was a whole thing.
I'll talk about the XX in a minute. That's great.
It was
Why were they all black and white?
I think it was because they were black and white.
Yeah.
Like
It was so clean.
because on Tumblr, they mainly whenever I looked up Arctic Monkey stuff, it was all AM. They
Yeah.
rarely talked about other
Huh.
of their albums, and I mean, like, it makes sense because, like, it came out, like, during those years.
Mhm.
But I think it was, like, the vibe. It was like, these are black and white and, like, I'm
Mhm.
cool, mysterious.
Yeah.
And that was, like, the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading their Wikipedia, and I didn't realize this. This made me feel really old, but they were one of the first bands to gain popularity with the internet. Like one of the first bands to do it, from like 2016 to 2013, have the internet be the main driving force. And I was like, man, in 30 years, I can tell like my grandkids that, and they're gonna be like, this old,
This old piece of shit.
I also read, though, that, like, for as much as, like, their popularity goes and, like, how popular they are on social media and stuff, they don't really do much, like,
No.
on social media. Like,
Huh.
they don't really, like, push it or anything. It's, like, all, like, the fans
It's all the
that, like,
fans
do
sharing
it.
it.
Yeah.
Their MySpace was like one of the bigger platforms for them, and it was ran by fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine being a fan and like doing that for a band for free?
Yeah.
I think this album is also kind of a crazy tie-in to that part of the internet, and we'll tie into our drink pairing. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Yes, I'm feeling thirsty.
But oh yeah, we'll wet your whistle. I think the fact that like so many people latched onto purely the aesthetic of an album
Mm.
is kind of an insane phenomenon. And this also happened with like the 1975 and the XX, the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bands like that in that kind of era. A lot of it was like purely aesthetic driven. Like, so you could go to this show and take a picture of the stage with like the waveform logo,
Yup.
put it on your blog, bitch, put it in a photo set with your
Yeah.
little like Converse.
Really excellent branding, a lot of bands of this era. And
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah.
So tell us about this fabulous cocktail we've concocted.
So Cassie and I were kind of dreaming up together. Like we had decided we wanted to lean into 2013 Tumblr, right? So we're like, what was iconic? Like what was rebloggable at the time? What would have done numbers? And I don't think that the way we've sort of botched this vessel would do numbers. But we chose to take a boxed water Infinus for, so if you just Google like boxed water Tumblr, you'll see what I mean. We've taken a boxed water because it is better, ripped open the top and poured Tito's into it, garnished with a little spiral of lemon. So this is a boxed water and Tito's garnished with lemon.
And it looks awful.
I'm so nervous right now.
It's water, boxed water, and Tito's.
We went from last episode, the Prince of Wales, this
fancy
fancy ass 3 liqueur, shaken not stirred,
Yeah.
and to this box water with a lemon peel.
Oh my god. I like didn't realize that people ordered vodka water at a bar, and if you order vodka water, this isn't shade, like live your dream. But I was watching a vlog of a news reporter, and she went to a bar with some of her friends and she ordered a Tito's water, and I was like, bestie, like really? And then I watched another one because I was going down a rabbit hole, and she ordered another Tito's water.
I mean, it's a healthy way to do it. You're
I
cutting
guess,
calories.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like simple.
Yeah.
Like they gotta have Tito's and water.
You'll always
They're
have it.
gonna
Yeah.
have it.
But they won't always have boxed water,
No.
and that means they're not better.
That's right.
No.
That's absolutely right.
And I watched, for the record, a 3-minute video on how to curl the little lemon on top of it, just to really send
Make it
home.
artisanal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Should we try it?
Shall we?
Yeah. Cheers.
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 I'm scared.
I mean, yeah. That makes sense.
I can't figure out how to drink it
I
because the
know.
cardboard on top.
The lemon is helping.
Yeah.
The
I
aroma
agree.
of lemon.
I agree.
What does it taste like, Zach?
It tastes like when you leave an iced tea in the fast food cup in your car a little too long and take a sip of it.
Yeah.
It tastes
Yeah.
like watered down vodka.
Like
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like it tastes like the tail end of like a drink you forgot about and you left it on your nightstand and went
Should
to
we have
bed.
done ice? I
Maybe.
think ice would make
Ooh.
it.
The Tito's was in the freezer, but these have been sitting out for a
Yeah.
sec.
And the box water wasn't really refrigerated.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like 10 hours ago. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this and a glass with ice would be okay.
Totally.
I could hang
Yeah.
out with it.
But we
I
have to
agree.
commit to the aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is better for the environment than a bottle of water. So
Yeah. What
Yeah.
else is better about this drink? Wait. Oh my God. If we post an image of this box with hashtag Better Planet, Boxed Water will plant 2 trees.
Holy
hell yeah,
shit.
we're posting
We're
so
doing
many
it.
pictures.
I'm plugging the Instagram right now. Go follow us at Album Brews to see photos of our boxed water with Tito's and help us plant trees.
Do you guys want to pause and make these drinks better?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Drinking the soul.
All right, we're back. I just wanted to touch base with like Arctic Monkeys vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like they have a very specific vibe to me that I think carries throughout all of their records, even though they are very different. But especially with AM specifically, I feel like when I'm listening to it, I feel like I'm like living out my dream of being like a mysterious, lustful, and rebellious woman who's like intriguing like everyone, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we want her,
Yeah.
you know, and like I just love like that feeling, like listening to it like alone. I'm just like, hell yeah, like I'm that woman, you know.
Yeah. There's very much like smoky bar at midnight, after show, after party, ripped fishnets and martinis with red lipstick stains.
And smoking on the sidewalk outside.
Yeah. And flicking a cigarette into a trash can and starting a fire. Just me.
And that fire burning down an orphanage. No, okay, wrong vibe, sorry.
And then Sean Kingston singing about it.
You're in Paris, but your cigarette's on a long stick. That's better, right? That's a better vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that very well. Going back to what we were talking about earlier about like the Tumblr vibe. Maybe that's why they did so good on Tumblr, because it was just such
Yeah.
like a color wall of emotion.
It was a perfect storm.
Yes.
And that's why this album, I think, or that's a huge reason why, or part of why this album did so well. It got like crazy acclaim. It ended up on a ton of like best of 2013
Mhm.
Yes.
lists. It eventually ended up on a revised version of Rolling Stone's top 500 albums,
Oh.
ranked number 346, which like you're in there, you know?
Uh-huh.
I will say I have 2 points. The first point that I thought was really funny when this album was coming out, when they were releasing singles, was that the first 3 singles that were released were all questions. So first we had Are You Mine?
Uh-huh.
And then we had Do I Want to Know? And then we had Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High? So it's kind of like we're starting to get glimpses into this like dysfunctional romance.
Yes.
Also, this is random, but in 2013, when they were promoting the album, Arctic Monkeys was supposed to do a spot on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
And it ended up getting postponed and rescheduled because Kanye West was another guest on that episode and he talked too long.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I
But-
heard about that.
That's so funny.
It's so Kanye of him.
Yeah, he just monopolized the airtime.
Yeah.
Your Jimmy Kimmel debut gets cut short.
This is like the first time
What-
you're getting traction in the States.
What did Kanye have to say?
Some shit. I don't know. Same shit he always says. So yeah, they ended up performing a couple weeks later during like a special outdoor set for
That
Jimmy
is a great
Kimmel.
story. That's a great little tidbit about
Yeah.
this. I'll never forget that about this album.
Yeah. It's also weird to imagine Arctic Monkeys in the same like room as Kanye West.
Yeah. Ooh, I did have one quick little tidbit about the
Yeah.
album as a whole. I like this quote a lot from Alex Turner in an interview where he's talking about this album. He's talking about like the hip hop influence on this album, which is something I didn't really think about until I read this interview.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot in there. And he says, it's like a Dr. Dre beat, but we've given it an Ike Turner bowl cut and sent it galloping across the desert on a Stratocaster.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness.
And then I didn't know who Ike Turner was. Do you guys know who
No.
Ike Turner was?
Absolutely not.
I had to look it up.
It's not his relative or something.
No, it's not. He's an African American gentleman who was very big. His wife was Tina Turner.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
So he's a big producer, big industry person. Very important in that shift from blues to rock and roll to rock. To,
yeah.
But I'll show you guys the picture. Maybe we'll tweet it. But his bowl cut is really bad.
Oh no.
no.
And so just imagining it riding across the desert on a Stratocaster.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely giving like OG Beatles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very funny.
So, a fun fact to kind of start it off with the first song, Do I Want to Know? Actually, 7 years ago, today, I tweeted, "How many secrets can you keep?"
That is
To
a
the
fun
day?
fact.
To the day.
Shit.
Isn't that wild?
That's kind of poetic.
Yeah,
It
kinda
is.
poetic.
And now I'm telling all my secrets on a podcast.
Oh my god.
Not
what other
really.
secrets
Not
will you
really,
tell?
not really. Just saying, like,
I, for whatever reason, the music video for this song sticks out to me in my memory of 2013 Tumblr and the amount of gifs that I reblogged
Yes.
of like the music video. If you haven't seen it, is like this really cool like line art, black and white like contour. There's like a sexy lady, and there's
Mhm.
like walking on something, and then it becomes like a musical scale, and there's like the waveform, and it's like all this shit. And it had a grip. It had a grip on us
yes,
at the time.
absolutely. I most definitely reblogged all of those
Yes.
little gifs. And yeah, it like matches the cover of AM. So I think that
Mhm.
was like what they were really going for. Yeah.
Quintessential.
Yeah.
I also thought something that always stuck out to me was the line, simmer down and pucker up. I felt dirty when I was like 14,
Oh, no.
15, and I heard that line. I was like, oh, I need to call my mom. I was like, if anyone ever said that to me, I'll simply melt.
Literally. Yeah. There's a lot of lines like that, like throughout the entire album where I'm like, say it again.
Like, this is a sexy album.
Yes.
And
yes.
we had no business.
No, me 13, 14,
Yes.
absolutely not. Like,
No
no.
business.
No.
Yeah, I guess he
Um,
is. I never really thought about that because I was in high school and a boy when this came out.
Right.
And so like, yeah, he really is not pandering, catering even
Mhm.
to his female audience
Yes.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked it up just to make sure he is straight. So
Damn it.
He
all-
dates a lot of models,
Yeah.
which is funny because he's only like 5'7", I'm pretty sure.
I
Yes,
I was
Sarah?
about to defend short men, but I had a second thought, which was when I was reading through Alex Turner's Wikipedia page. Do you remember that he dated Ariel Vandenberg from Vine?
No.
Do you remember her?
No, who is that?
Oh, am I too online? Look her up real quick. You'll recognize her face.
Guys, he's 5'7.5". I'm only 5'8".
So you can date
I
models.
could date models.
You could date Alex Turner.
I could date Alex Turner.
Yeah. Give him a little
Oh.
smooch. Mwah.
She's beautiful.
She's in the Are You Mine music video. I was getting
What?
maybe
I didn't
I'm too
watch the
online.
music
I was getting into the
videos.
lore.
I didn't watch the videos. I only know like the iconic, like the line art.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen any music videos. I really should tap into that.
I never did when it was like at its peak in my life, and then I was doing a bunch of research today. I also watched the Anthony Fantano review.
Oh, how
of-
was that?
He shitted all over it.
A lot of
What?
people didn't like
He
AM. I
Shitted
know
and farted.
impeded.
And I and I was like, damn, this boy has his knickers in a twist.
Doesn't he always though?
He really does. Anthony Fantano at the Needle Drop, we have beef because he said a bunch of like,
A lot of people didn't like how commercial it was compared to their other stuff, right?
oh,
is
yeah.
that, is that
makes
what
sense.
Anthony had to do with it?
He kept saying like, it's boring. I'm bored because it's slow and it's not as
Well,
like.
have you listened to the latest Transylvania Hotel Casino?
No, no, I haven't.
It is boring.
Yeah.
Have you
I-
listened to it, Cassie?
I've listened to it a little bit and it's I don't know. It's the only record of theirs that I like can't listen to all the way, or maybe I do
Uh-huh.
just get a little bit bored. Like
It's sad
it's
piano
different.
vibes.
It's really different. Like
Oh.
his vocals are different. The vibes are very different. I don't know how many more times I can say different.
I feel like the redeeming quality of this album, to Anthony Fantano's Shade, is I feel like this album sets a vibe. I think it's less about being like, because so many of their other records were like very like punk, like stoner punk, like a little more upbeat, a little more complicated, a little more. I feel like this one, if you get yourself into the mindset that like you're like in a back alley behind a club and you hear this faintly from afar, that's the headspace.
Yeah. I feel like also with their most recent release, it's like they're not the same people that created all these other albums. Like they've grown.
Mhm.
They've been through so much more. They've gone through that whole stage of like being a rock star and whatever. It's like they want to change their sound too, and like that's totally cool. But it's not going to appease everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this album number 5 was just like another Suck It and See, that would be more boring to me than a slow album, right?
I guess I kind of agree, but I love Suck It
I
and
mean,
See.
yes, so good. But if they just did it again, the exact same,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
And also to Anthony Fantano's Shade, he gave it a 3.
A 3?
A 3.
That's outrageous.
A 3.
Where does this man live?
I know, I want to fight him. Granted, it was like 8 years ago.
I don't care.
He was such a pissy
A
baby about it.
3. Maybe he was having just a bad day.
Maybe he was having a bad day. But if this album wasn't what it was, I don't think it would have had the same success that it did.
Let's talk about this real fast. This album is almost 10 years old, is it
That's
not?
fucked
Holy
up.
shit.
That is fucked up.
That means I was on Tumblr almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
listening to it to extensively this week, it's aged fine, I think.
Yeah,
I
It's-
agree.
Yes. I feel like if it isn't already, I'm not really on TikTok, but it's gonna be all over TikTok.
We're gonna get it all over
Yeah,
TikTok.
we'll post
No.
some TikToks of it.
No, it deserves better.
Damn, son.
10 years. You know what
That's-
that also means?
I was such a young person when I listened to this.
Me
What else
too.
does it mean, Cassie?
That also means that me and Sarah have known each other a decade.
That's fucked
Hell
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that though. That's
Yeah.
a better kind of
Yeah,
fucked up.
that's cool.
Will you tell one embarrassing story of Sarah from middle school, and then we'll get back to the next song?
Take your pick.
Shit. An embarrassing moment?
Or maybe like reminiscent.
Aw.
That's nice too.
I mean, this kind of relates to what we're talking about, but I remember like being in your basement and I think I brought like my laptop and you had your laptop and Lindsay had her laptop and we were on Tumblr and Sarah was like revamping my page, like showing me like how to like code it to be what I want.
Aw.
And I was like, what the fuck, Sarah? Like, how do you know how to do all of this? I do remember that. Like, that was so distinct. Like, that time period. It was amazing.
It was very good on my like chunky Dell laptop.
Yeah, and mine too. I also had a chunky ass Dell.
Cassie and I have also been to a lot of concerts together.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of like a mainstay of the friendship, was like waiting outside of venues for very long periods
Were
of
you the
time.
girls that like waited after to try to meet the band? too?
100%.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes my mom would get mad at us if
Yeah.
we came home too late.
Oh.
And I was the one responsible for driving, so I would be the one who got in trouble if I got us home late. But sometimes we waited. Sometimes we were like the bitches who waited at Barricade to like get the set list or like the drumsticks
Oh,
after.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
now Cameron, working in live venues, will say like, "Oh, these bitches waited for the set list," and I was like, "Hey, I'm
Hey, that was
bitches."
you.
I'm bitches too, Cameron.
Yeah.
You listening? He is
Cameron's just
listening because
jealous.
he's going to be editing all of this.
No one waits around to talk to the audio engineer.
But we would do that. We were
We were
around-
homies.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we would be waiting for the band, so we'd be like, "I don't know, who's this guy? He probably knows them."
Yeah.
Top 3 concerts you guys saw together.
Top 3.
Top
Three.
3.
I will say, for the record, listen, I'm not ashamed. I had a 21 Pilots phase.
You know what? Me too.
Yo, I like 21 Pilots.
We had like a phase.
I've seen them 3 times.
3, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
One time at Red
Shit.
Rocks.
Serve. We saw them once in Milwaukee.
At the
Oh,
rave.
nice.
At the rave. Yeah, that was at the rave.
And it was the day before Halloween.
It was. And we waited outside for, got like 8 hours maybe.
No, because we had school.
Oh, we did have school.
We raced
You're
after
right.
school.
We waited a long time for Redacted Borns, who's now canceled.
Yeah, maybe I just blacked that on my memory. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so for 21 Pilots, we get
Yeah.
out of school, fucking zoom to downtown Milwaukee to
Yup.
try and grab a spot in line. We like park in the raves parking lot, run into the line, and we still got a good spot.
Oh yeah,
Waited outside, made a couple friends in line, super chill.
we made really good friends in line.
I still follow some of them on
I still
Instagram.
do too, and
Yeah.
like sometimes like they like comment on my stuff, and I see all of their posts, and I'm like, oh my god, like I still like would love to be friends with them. Like they're still
100%.
such sweet people. Like there are some people that we met. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad we didn't really connect.
Oh, no.
But like, I don't know. That's like just like the 21 Pilots crowd. Like you
Yeah.
never know who you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the sweetest. And we get inside, and it was the wildest crowd to date I've ever been in.
Damn.
Yes.
Like it was all
Absolutely.
general admission. If you know, you know. It was in the Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee, which is part of
yeah.
the rave. Pretty big room, probably like
Yeah.
300 cap.
Yeah,
Definitely sold out. And we were maybe like within the front quarter of the room.
Yeah, we ended up separating.
We moved out, yeah.
because like the crowd just like moved us, and especially with them like getting on top in the crowd, like when they do the whole drum shit
Uh-huh.
and whatever. Yeah, I remember like we separated, and I ended up getting into like the third row.
Oh shit.
Literally, yeah, like the third row. And I remember like Tyler like went up for like trees.
Yeah.
And he was like right above me, and like I touched his foot, and I was like, I'm never washing my hair. I did, but that was the vibes. I was like, holy shit, like I can't believe that just happened.
Do you remember at the end of the show, because all this like confetti comes out?
Yeah,
I like saved the confetti and put it in my clear
Yes.
phone case.
I did
like on
too.
display.
I did too. I don't think I have it anymore because I moved and everything, and I had to get rid of shit. But like I had that up until like, I don't know, this last year probably. Just like in my stuff.
That show was also a show where they tattooed each other.
Yes.
Actual
Yeah,
There was,
on
like-
stage.
Do you want to tell like
No,
this
go
Twitter?
ahead.
Okay. So there was like a Twitter poll that they did back when like Twitter polls were really in vogue at the
Oh.
time. This was what, like 2014, 2015?
2015.
Post
20
blurry face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did this Twitter poll where it was like, hey, vote for your fave. Loser gets the winner's name tattooed on them.
Yeah.
And I don't think we realized that like the poll was set to finish, or maybe we did know. I don't know. I like wasn't anticipating it.
You guys got to be there when he got the tattoo from
Yeah.
the losing poll.
Well, here's the tea is the poll ended in a tie.
It was literally
Oh.
50-50.
It was literally 50-50.
There's no way that happened.
That doesn't
like,
sound real.
It does not make any sense.
There were like
how that happened.
screenshots circulating. It was like a whole
Damn.
to do. So I remember during the show there was kind of like a pause where they like went backstage and we're kind of like, it was a fucking tie. Like what the fuck do we do? So then they got back out on stage and they tattooed each other's names on each other's legs.
That's awesome.
It was
Yeah.
fucking wild, and we were losing our minds. We were like,
Absolutely.
again, we're swinging it back to Tumblr. We were like, the Tumblr girlies are gonna freak about this. Like, videos are gonna circulate, and we're gonna know we were there.
That's awesome.
That's
So
like,
that's a memory.
That's like a once in a lifetime like thing though.
Yeah.
Like that didn't happen at any other show.
No,
Like that happened at our show.
and we
That's
were together.
crazy.
In Milwaukee, of all
Yeah.
the shows on the 180 show date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah, so
before
that would
Halloween.
definitely be in our top 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not even gonna tell my story now because that's way cooler than when I saw him.
Go right ahead.
If you have
Tell.
a story, I want to hear your
Yes.
story.
No, it's lame. No one got tattooed.
Did you like catch a drumstick or something? Like
No, so it was Bonnaroo 2014 or 15.
lit.
And the coolest part of it was they like sectioned off the area because they weren't the headliner, but they were before the headliner, but in the same stage as the headliner.
Mhm.
And so like people were lined up for him at Bonnaroo, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And we were super in the front. And when they opened the gates, everyone sprinted to the front. And I was in much better shape then than I am now. So,
Hey.
so we sprinted to the front like half a mile. And so we got to see him like 4 people back in
Shit.
the
Yo.
At Bonnaroo.
at Bonnaroo.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Dude, we stayed running at venues.
We
And
did.
security people stayed going, don't run, walk. And we'd be like,
I'd be like,
you're
yeah,
trying
right.
to do like a speed walk, like you're in a grocery store or something. You have to take a shit. And then like as soon as you're out of sight, you start running again because your life depends on getting to the barricade.
All right. So we're one song in.
Yeah. I touched on Are You Mine a little bit when I was talking about Ariel Vandenberg. Do we have anything else that we want to touch on for that song?
I just want to say this kind of goes like throughout the whole album. Like each song has their own like narrative, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing like I really noticed in this one is that he's basically getting at the point of like he's like begging for this lover to like give him any satisfaction, you know? And it's like this addictive lust, and you know, he says like he's a puppet for her basically. Like, and then like there's the whole like line with like, are you mine tomorrow or are you just mine tonight? So it's gonna be like probably a one night stand, and he has a lot of those throughout this album.
There are, yes.
Yeah, yes. There's like some uncertainty like with his relationship and with himself.
Yeah, he's kind of a
Yeah.
player.
Oh yeah.
Alex Turner should go to therapy.
Maybe.
What about you, Zach? You got any thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I love all the previous lyric stuff from the previous albums, but there's just some really good lines in this album, and this song in particular, when the breakdown, she's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space.
Yes.
That's
Even-
badass.
Even those two, like the internal rhyme of lining and riding is really good.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind when she's not right there beside me, and then it goes right into the chorus, because I love whenever they put that bridge in and then they tie in the words to the chorus.
Yeah.
So good.
She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind, when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy.
That's hot.
We were all just
good.
headbanging. Yeah. We were all just like, oh, yeah.
I was like, damn, that kind of rips.
Oh man.
I don't know about y'all. I love when the music cuts out and then it comes
It
back
comes
in
right
real
back in.
drum heavy.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh my God, I'm listening to a song.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Something with that guitar tone too, just talking about the vibe of the album.
Yeah.
It's so distinctively Arctic Monkeys.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
the way.
It's like throughout this album, it's throughout Favorite Worst Nightmare.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's throughout all of them.
I feel like I noticed that with the vocal tone too. There's like this really subtle, like gritty, grungy,
Fuzzy type.
Mm.
Yeah.
like a film grain
Yeah.
almost. Delicious and
Mhm.
distinct.
I've got a Rolling Stones parallel in this next song.
oh,
Please
yeah.
tell me about it right now.
I found it earlier, but I forgot to mark it down. They referenced the Rolling Stones in one of these songs. But the oohs, are just like that Rolling Stones song. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh,
We'll play the Rolling Stones first, and then we'll play.
yeah.
I watch with glee while you kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made. I shouted.
I love that.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So, okay, let's show the parallel. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for
I know
this?
you can't like copyright ooh, but it's the same ooh.
It's,
Yeah.
it's literally, come on now. It sounds so much like a train.
It does.
Choo choo.
Before we get into the next part, I need to pee.
Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl.
Wait, Cassie, that means that you're summoning the first toilet flush of the episode.
First toilet flush of 2022.
First toilet flush of
Wow.
2022.
Yes.
What an honor.
All right, and we're back again. And let's just dive right into this little game I've prepared.
Whoa.
We're halfway there. Whoa! Cassie's got a bit.
That's me. So the game I've prepared is simply a true or false game. And it's all about me.
Lit.
So
Oh, okay.
Sarah,
God, I better do well.
I'm gonna be really good at this game. I think.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Sarah's probably gonna have a little bit of an upper hand. She probably is gonna know some of these, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of prepared them in a way that she wouldn't really know, but she might.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll see.
And they all have to do with the whole vibe today.
Great.
Like Arctic Monkeys, everything we've been talking about.
2013 Tumblr.
AM mostly.
Okay.
I didn't want to incorporate any other.
Okay.
I love
albums.
it.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 1. True or false? The first song I ever heard by Arctic Monkeys was Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High? And it was introduced to me by Sarah.
Are we on a team or against each other?
Oh, I
If
don't
I
know.
win, how is that gonna make you feel?
Right. I feel like we should work as a team
We on a team.
to
Okay.
decipher a common truth.
Okay. I've been paying attention this so far this episode, so I might be pretty good at this.
Okay, good. Here's what I'm thinking is I feel like I've shown Cassie a lot of music, right? But I don't know if I've introduced Arctic Monkeys. I feel like that's something that Cassie had her.
And she said,
Finger
"I
on
want
the
to be,
pulse
I want to be
of-
yours." Was the song?
She said, "Why'd you only call me when you're high?"
Oh, I feel like she's heard Arctic Monkeys way before AM.
I
She seemed
Yeah.
pretty into Suck It and See and a couple of those other ones, so I'm gonna say false.
think I might say false too, at the risk of ruining my reputation.
It's true.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised by that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. I think I like have a little flashback of when I was like in the back seat of my mom's car and we were like getting gas. Like we were at the gas station. And like I was like texting you. I was like, "Can I get some like song recommendations?" And that was like the only Arctic Monkey song that was on the list.
Wow.
And after that, you set this whole. That's why I'm here.
Holy shit.
Maybe
10 years
maybe.
ago, you made this episode happen, Sarah.
Holy
B.
Yup.
shit.
That is phenomenal.
Wow.
Like I might have heard like "Do I Want to Know" like on the radio, but I never like processed
Yeah.
if that
Wow.
was them. Like I think I might have heard it before, but yeah, that was like my first like, oh, this is Arctic Monkeys.
Oh, I'm honored because
Yup.
that was a big deal. And I guess I always associate it with like you being on the pulse of that because I know it was something, especially at the time, that like I just like associated it with you. Damn.
Aw.
This is my
that.
favorite moment on the podcast this year.
This year.
This year, okay.
Okay.
All
Damn.
right.
Okay. I better get it in gear.
All right, number 2, true or false? I've seen Arctic Monkeys live.
You guys haven't seen them together. I'm
We haven't
assuming,
seen
'cause
them
you're thinking
together.
About it. I haven't either, or either. I haven't. Maybe either. We'll find out in a second. But that makes me sad that I haven't seen them.
Mentally, I'm scrolling through Cassie's Instagram.
Are you scrolling through it like one by one or in groups of 3, like on her homepage?
I'm going through the grid.
Oh, okay, the grid.
I'm going through the
Ooh,
grid.
It's big brain mode.
I feel like this was a bucket
'Cause
list
she
item.
would totally post it if she did, right?
I feel that's the thing. That's the thing is I feel like if it happened, I would have heard more about it. Like I feel like if
Also,
it,
They were so big at the time. Like where would she have seen them at? Right? Because they're
Right.
arena band now, right?
and Arctic Monkeys, did they come to Summerfest? Did they come to a free stage? They didn't come to a paid stage.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't remember seeing a Summerfest Arctic Monkeys lineup. I'd remember that if I saw it, I feel like. but also maybe not. Not in the last 10 years. This is a hard question, Cassie.
This is a hard question.
I like the first one that was more specific.
I'm having a. I was gonna say I had a gut reaction, but then my gut reaction had a gut reaction.
Oh no, your
Love
poor
that.
gut.
Your gut's folding.
I don't think so. I feel like I would have had it really readily available, so I'm gonna say false.
I'm gonna follow her and say false.
It is false.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I have never seen Arctic Monkeys, but they are definitely on my bucket list.
I would
Yeah.
pay money to see them
Like,
dead, yeah.
they have not been at Summerfest because I would have tapped into
That's what I
Nice.
thought. Yes.
To-
Okay. Work.
Yeah, so whenever they do,
Mm-hmm. I'll
I'll be there. And you know what? This is one of those bands I will camp out for.
Should we try and get a press pass?
Yeah, let's do that. Album of Brews is playing Lollapalooza 2023. Let's make it happen, folks.
We're right next to the porta potties. Check us out. Take a poop. Listen to us talk.
All right, number 3, true or false? AM was the first vinyl record I ever got.
Can I
Ooh.
tell a story?
Yes.
AM was one of the first 10 records I ever bought when I was started buying albums.
Mm-hmm.
And I scratched it because I was such a noob.
No.
I had like a couple drinks one night, and so the whole B-sides of AM is scratched.
No.
And now it's like a 10-year-old record. If I wish I had an original copy of it.
The first. Cassie and I have gone record shopping together a lot.
Okay.
First record being AM. I might go with true. I could see that being true.
I'm gonna say true too.
It is true.
Nice.
It was the one and only record I asked for Christmas the year that I got my record player.
Nice.
And I was like 14, and I was like, if I get a record for Christmas, it's going to be this one.
It was the one.
It was that one.
Yeah.
That's
it was that
awesome.
one.
Are you a record collector?
I am.
Nice.
I am. Number 4, true or false? I own a record of every album by Arctic Monkeys.
False, because I don't think you would have bought the last one.
I think you're right. I think no one bought the last one because it was bad.
Damn! Roasted. Okay, besides, let's pretend that album doesn't exist. So it is false. But if that didn't exist, it would still be false.
I feel like
Only-
an early one would be hard to get.
Well, another one would be hard to
Well,
get. You're probably right.
Some of them. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the EPs maybe.
I don't own the EPs, but I have every full LP
Nice.
except Favorite Worst Nightmare, and that's only because I have the CD and I listen to it in my car.
Tea.
So I'm like, well, I'm gonna listen to that in my car, and it ended up being the one that's my favorite. So I probably should own it eventually, but
That's the
Yeah.
one with Fluorescent Adolescents, right?
yeah,
That's a great car song.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the
It's
car and that song's playing, you're having a
every
good time.
fucking song in that album. Let me tell you. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Yeah, so that was false. All right, number 5. True or false? When Seth asked me to be his girlfriend, he ended the proposal with, "Are you mine?"
Oh, true.
That is your current
Absolutely
boyfriend?
Yes.
true. Seth is Seth, if you're listening, I love you. I think you're fantastic. Seth is such a music dork, and he loves Cassie so much that he would do that. I do think that's true.
It is true.
Aww.
Yeah.
I was gonna be sad if it was false. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah, that was so
Damn, you got
romantic.
proposed to be a
Man.
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't.
It-
I think we've only gotten one wrong so far.
yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Hell yeah.
All right.
You know Cassie so well.
I do.
Wow. Better than I thought. I mean- All right. Number 6. I still use Tumblr.
I think that's true. And I think it's on the down low.
There was a big thing recently where like Tumblr's not allowed to show nudes anymore.
Right. They're not allowed to show female presenting nipples, I think was the quote.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like even when they were doing that, it was still like artsy, right?
Oh, the first time I ever saw like straight up porn was on Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is Tumblr like now?
I would
for
not.
Cassie to still use it if she did,
Well,
or do
I know
not.
that there's kind of a revival of like only using it for yourself
yeah, for
as
your
a
own
kind of like a
mood board.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would not be surprised if this is true.
I'm gonna go with your gut.
It is true. I am active on Tumblr.
Lit.
And yeah, I kind of do use it for myself because I know like nobody else is on it. So
Mhm.
I can just like post my shit and like it makes me feel better about myself. Like I don't have Pinterest unless like I need it like for something specific, like a drink thing,
Mhm.
you know, or like I'm dyeing my hair, you know. So I don't really use Pinterest as much as I use Tumblr. But yeah, I use it more for like a mood board or like just to like check in with myself and be like, hey, like there are beautiful things you can look forward to.
That sounds nice.
So yeah, it's been actually really helpful, especially with these last like few months of like it being so stressful in Chicago. Like I'm just like, I just need this little silly little app for myself where I can just reblog my shit. And also side note, like I went on Tumblr today and I tried going to the very bottom to find the shit I posted about Arctic Monkey. Oh my god!
It's the same account.
Yeah. The name is changed, but like, yeah. So I kind of saved some.
Oh my
I just
God.
want to show you. Obviously, they can't see them, but
We can screenshot and post.
I like
At
these
Alma
are
Bruce,
these are
give us a follow.
actual posts, like photos that I reblogged. Okay, here's number one.
Will you? Okay,
You.
so what we're picturing here, I'm going to describe this as if I'm like writing alt text for a website.
Please.
We've got like a car stereo here with
but
like
it's the kind you would like take out of your dash and put it
Yeah.
in your purse so no one stole it.
yeah. The kind with like a glowy knob and
Yeah.
glowy buttons. And on the LCD display, it says, "Are you mine?" It also says, they're listening to this on the CD. It says 002, track
Yeah.
2. Are you mine? And here's the thing, is that would have gotten like 500,000 notes.
Yeah.
on Tumblr.
All right, here's another one.
I like this game. Oh, I don't know what this is, Sarah. You have to explain this to me. I don't know why they're laughing. It doesn't mean anything to me.
So this is, if you were on Tumblr in the early 2010s, a lot of people would sort of like, I don't know, take like a sheet of printer paper and a number 2 pencil and just like write a bunch of lyrics artistically from an album and maybe include some little doodles or like.
I like it. It's
So
cool
this is
looking.
kind of what we got going on here. It's one of those for the Arctic Monkeys. It's not entirely
It's not entirely
AM.
AM because they got 505 in
Right.
here.
Yeah.
right. But it's sort of like a fan created Arctic Monkeys lyric / vibe sheet. And I know for a fact I reblogged like a Paramore one of these, a Fall Out Boy one of these. Yeah.
See, like
It was the moment.
I think about like me, like in this time when I would have reblogged this, I would recreate this,
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
but like also with like One Direction.
Yes, as you should.
Yes. And then I am pretty sure this was my Twitter header.
So let me describe this one for the people. This is the black and white, pretty high contrast photo of a theater marquee that says Arctic Monkeys in like the theater marquee letters, as if maybe they were like playing that venue. It looks
Yes.
gorgeous. That's a
It's
good
very
Twitter
pretty.
header.
I would
It-
retweet that. even.
It was
Yeah.
my Twitter header. And I do want to say, like, I had so many, like, Arctic Monkeys was like one of the only bands, I think, possibly the only band that I ever like used their like merch or whatever, like as my Twitter header.
Mhm.
Like I definitely had the little like squiggles with the
Absolutely.
AM like logo or like neon lights or like crowd photos. Arctic
had a
Monkeys
grip.
is my band. Okay. All right, number 7. True or false? In our first year of dating, me and Seth sang Fireside around the campfire with only a ukulele.
That has to be true.
That feels pretty true.
That is, well,
Was it a good ukulele cover?
was it Fireside?
It's like Fireside, campfire, like,
Oh, you
Right.
that's the
think,
bit.
you think she's trying to trick us by it being a different song other than Fireside?
Because I know Cassie has a ukulele. I know Cassie and Seth would have a moment like
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
I could see it. I'm going to
What
go
if
true.
it was the second year of dating? What if she's really nitpicking us?
Oh.
How long have you guys been dating?
4.5 years.
I bet it was the first year.
You know what? If he asked, "Are you mine?"
Right?
Yeah,
That
I'm going to
honeymoon-
say
that
true.
honeymoon phase was definitely all
Yeah.
monkeys.
Yes. Y'all had a monkey phase. True.
Oh
True.
my god. It's false.
Oh no! What part is false? All of it?
Yeah. I do have a ukulele that I never use.
The part that was missing for me was like, when were y'all around a fire?
he has a campfire,
Okay.
like a little like fire pit in his backyard. I had one, I think.
That was the missing bit. Is I was like, I could see y'all strumming together. Okay. All right.
All right,
So we got 2 wrong out of 10 or out of 7 so far.
7.
Good track record.
Yeah, we're doing
All right, last one. True or false? My first car was named after the song Arabella.
I'm pretty sure this is true.
What type of car was it?
It was a red car. I don't remember like the maker model. It was just like an old ass like red car.
It was a cherry red Chrysler Sebring convertible.
That's awesome. What a good first
Yeah.
car. I hope this is true. That's so cool.
It is true.
Yes.
I remember this car.
I named her Arabella ABBA
Mhm.
That's great.
because those are my homies. That was what I always listened to. Like, I kid you not, like, Favorite Worst Nightmare is my favorite Arctic Monkeys album.
Mhm.
And it was the only one I had on CD, and it was like the most listened to CD in my car. And like, imagine like me with the top down. It's fucking July 13th,
In
and
suburban Wisconsin.
literally listening to 505, blasting
Oh,
that
man.
shit.
Yes, ma'am.
That was me.
That's a
Cruising
vibe
down
right
Ryan
there.
Road.
Literally.
Like,
Highway 100.
come on, Highway 100.
And then also like kind of a little fun fact. My car right now, so I've only had 2 cars. So that was my first car, and then I just got this one less than a year ago. And it's a Kia Rio, and it's also red. And I named her Humbug after the album Humbug. So I think I'm just gonna like
Just keep it going.
naming it like Arctic Monkeys
That's great.
songs or albums.
Do you have a name for that game that we just played? Cassie quiz.
Cassie quiz.
Cat-
I should
Cassie
have named
quiz.
it.
I think that every guest we have on the podcast should just bring a quiz
Just
about themselves.
About themselves. I like that a lot. I learned a
think
lot
that's
about Cassie
fun.
just then.
I think that's fun.
So what did you learn about me?
I learned about your relationship. Your boyfriend is very nice, and also it has good taste in music. I learned all about your first cars, which is such an important aspect of a person, I feel like.
Absolutely.
What was your
My
first car,
car,
sir?
was like so important.
So was mine.
So important.
So my first and only car, I got my mom's old car.
One car.
Well, yeah, I
Wow.
had one car when I was still living in Wisconsin
Yeah.
that ended up getting passed down to Lindsay, my sister.
Uh-huh.
But it was a 2003 or 2004 Honda Accord.
It
was
I know
silver.
exactly what car, yeah.
And I named her Jane
Mm.
because Jane Fonda. I thought she was Jane Honda.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So her name was Jane, which was such a strange reference for me as a 16-year-old to make. God, I loved that car. It did not have a working CD player. It had an aux cord that you had to like tune into the radio for. It was weird.
I loved Cassie talking about playing CDs in her car because when my first 2 cars, the only thing that worked, no radio worked, no iPod worked because I didn't even have an iPod at the time. So I just have like this big folder of CDs And like I want to hook up like a CD player to my car now because it doesn't have a CD
Yeah,
player.
yeah. I can put CDs in my car now, but I fully take advantage of having an aux cord or like Bluetooth,
Mhm.
because my last one, I had Arabella ABBA for freaking 4 or 5 years, and I could only listen to CDs or the radio, and obviously I'm not listening to the fucking radio,
Right.
so
Except, well, I wanted to talk about this earlier, but me, you, and Lindsay were really into FM 102.1.
I've heard stories of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was wild.
That shit, the grip.
The grip, like
the grip.
I'm thinking like we are, I don't know, and it's summertime, the windows are down in
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
and we're listening to 102.1, headed towards fucking Party City area, probably going to Exclusive Company,
yes.
and
they're announcing a band's on a boat.
yes, but also Paramore's on the radio. Like, ain't it fun? Like, I'm thinking, like, ain't it fun is literally playing. Yes.
I think after talking about Arabella ABBA, we should get into the song Arabella.
We have to,
Yes.
right?
To,
I
in
also-
honor of that car.
Yes, that car did me so well, even though she had so many problems.
Oh, no.
Being a convertible and like leaking, like the roof leaked, and like she was her own thing. But anyways, Sarah kind of mentioned her car,
Mhm.
Jane Honda.
My girl.
So in Arabella, there's a line that says she's got a Barabella silver swimsuit
Uh-huh.
that's played by Jane Fonda. Yeah.
You're so smart.
I looked it up.
You're so smart.
Full circle comes around.
So somehow that relates.
We
both
made
of
the
our cars.
reference before it. Oh my god.
Yup.
That's perfect.
But yeah, so with Arabella, this is such an important song. One, because of my car, and
Yes.
two, because Arabella sounds like the most magnificent person to ever walk the face of the earth. Like, I want to be her so bad. Like, let me just read some of the lines. Like, it's much less picturesque without her catching the light. Saying, like, the sunset is less beautiful without her in front of it.
That is a good line.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Her lips are like the galaxy's edge, and her kiss the color of a constellation falling into place. Like, I want to be her. I want to have those lips.
Yes.
What the hell?
And the way he sings that part, falling into place.
Cassie, do you have in
Oh,
front of you the
man.
line about the horizon?
Oh, yeah, read that.
It's like
please.
the horizon tries, but
It's just not as kind as in the
Kind on the
eyes.
it's not as kind on the eyes as Arabella.
Yeah.
Oh
Ah.
my god.
It's so good.
It kind of reminds me of Dylan, if you're listening. There's like a Dirty Projector song called Breakthrough where they describe a woman as an epiphany of her electricity. And I go, whoa! Like, that's, Cassie, to your point, like, that's kind of the song where I'm like, I want to be this bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I want someone to describe me this way.
Entirely.
Yeah.
And
yes.
like, another one that I really liked, like one line, or it's more than one line, but a part of the song that I really liked, is the bridge at the end where he says, organic cigarettes that she smokes, wraps her lips around the Mexican Coke, makes you wish that you were the bottle. That's
He-
spicy.
He
That
is
was
horny
good.
in this album.
He's
and
horny
me.
on main.
Yes, yes, it's so good. And then one more line that I want to point out, I think is like a reference to another band. Basically saying that Arabella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Modern Lovers.
Ah.
It's a 70s band.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
And
They're not modern at all.
no, they're not. But I don't know if this is a reference to it. I think maybe it could
It
just be a
has to be,
coincidence.
right?
But they have
We've been doing podcasts together for a minute, haven't we?
But I love the Modern Lovers. They have this one song that specifically is in so many of my playlists. It's called The Hospital, and you guys have to listen.
Should we play it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll be here to get back into your life. I can't stand what you do. I'm in love with your eyes. Oh, I can't stand what you do. Sometimes I can't stand you, and it makes me think about me, that I'm involved with you. But I'm in love.
I've never heard that song.
I'm surprised that is a band from the 70s because
Yeah,
I feel like we could hear that.
It sounds pretty modern, right?
Yeah,
Like they're
absolutely.
modern lovers.
Literally, that's what I thought, because that was the first song I ever heard by them, and I never even realized to look into them for the longest time, and then I looked into them and I was like, wait, what the fuck?
It kind of rips.
Yeah, it's so good. I feel like that song stands out to me out of all of their other songs. I think that song might be their fourth on Spotify, on the top 4. But I'm like, damn, this song is so different from all the other ones. I would never have guessed that was from the 70s. But the rest of the album kind of feels like the 70s, if you listen to it. But that song. But anyways, I don't know if that is a reference in Arabella, but it's a good one if it is.
Let's annotate genius.com right now with that little bit of information, because I bet it's not there.
I think it is there.
That's the thing, is I was looking at genius.com because I'm a credible music reviewer, enjoyer, and journalist. I was looking at genius.com. Every single fucking line of this album is annotated. Every single one. Sometimes I look and the well is dry, but this one, it was flowing.
That makes sense.
I do want to highlight a funky production choice on this song. I feel like a lot of this album is pretty we've talked about how there are sort of loose hip-hop influences, loose influences from other acts. But there's just a funky little choice I wanted to show, where the line is, she's made of outer space, talking about Arabella.
Arabella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover. It's an exploration. She's made of outer space.
That funky, reverby, outer
Echoey
space
type.
alien laser type. I don't know. It's funky. I feel like Arctic Monkeys, when they implement choices like that, it's often pretty subtle. They're not going to go full sci-fi on main. But that was something I noticed, and I was like, that's kind of sci-fi.
There's a few songs that they do that in. There's a song where they say something like space age country girl.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pulling these two categories together. I feel like that really sums up this album in a way where they're pulling these different women, and how each woman is their own style, It's how many people can pull off being a space age cowgirl, you know what I mean?
It's literally only Casey Musgraves.
Literally.
Can we also play the guitar solo on this track? Yo, dude, that hits so good. He's talking about this girl, and he just rips into it, and it's really reminiscent of their earlier stuff, their earlier guitar heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And so to put it in there in the sweet spot like that is very good to Zach.
Yes.
Ladies,
So good.
if you're listening to this song and you don't have a man's or a sig-o, that stands for significant other, who's gonna write a fucking guitar solo about you, you better bounce.
What are you doing? Get
You
away.
better bounce.
I'm glad like both of us have significant others that would do that.
Yeah. I think we wanted to move on to Mad Sounds, yes?
Mad Sounds.
Yes.
I liked the vibe of this song. This was like kind of a deeper cut that when I was in my Tumblr era, didn't really like spend time with. And when I was listening to this album again, prepping for this recording, I was like, this song is fun. This one's fun. This is kind of like a warm, like kind of happy psychedelic trip for Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
I have several things I would like to mention about this song.
As you should.
And for me, Mad Sounds was also like kind of one that was a little bit brushed off, not gonna lie, like with growing with this album. But yeah, like listening to this, especially like this week, this is one of the notes I wrote down. Absolutely gorgeous, like a golden sunset peeking through a dark room with the sheer curtains. I want to bathe in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like this like breath of fresh air, and it's like mid-album,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, we're gonna take one song, and it's not gonna be about a girl, and you're just gonna relax for a second and kind of remember like what music is and like the point of music and how you can listen to it to distract yourself from everything else going on, which is super cliche to say. But it's true. It's like the perfect calming break. And it's so sweet. It reminds you of like the charm and the power of music. You're just vibing. Like this whole song, you're just vibing.
It's a vibe.
I agree. Yeah. The notes he's playing in the guitar are like super spaced out, right? He's not playing full chords, and though he just like goes up and down the scale on it. It's like, oh man, those Mad Sounds are in my ear, dude.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's like, damn, music is catchy, huh?
What? I like that. I like that point of view a lot. He just takes a break from his album to be like, yo, dude, you ever listen to music sometimes?
Yo, man, music? Shit's kind of cool.
Yeah, shit's pretty cool.
Shit's dope. Hey, man, music? I'm about that music.
This song always reminds me of Mike Snow for some reason.
Oh.
You guys get that vibe at all or no?
I didn't, but
Oh.
I mean, I know like the Mike Snow singles. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to a ton of Mike Snow.
Just the vibe of being like, ooh, ethereal, like
Music.
music in my ear.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like we got to keep rocking.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Seven
Bum,
Nation
bum.
Army?
Bum, bum,
That's
bum,
not on this
bum,
album.
Bum. The mirror's image tells me it's home time, but
kinda like
I'm
it
not
when you sing like that.
finished.
Do it again.
Oh, you're not by my side.
I interrupted it, and I think I had the wrong lyric.
Whoops.
Whoops. Cut that, Cam. Okay.
Listen, I've had vodka Snapple.
You know what?
Shh.
Me too.
We can cut it if the lyrics are wrong. Let's for sure cut
Can
it
we
if the lyrics are wrong.
officially rechange our pairing from the boxed water to the vodka Snapple? Because I just happen to have Snapple, and it's really good vodka. That's the new pairing now.
Put the vodka
took
Snapple in the
pictures.
boxed water.
Put the vodka Snapple in the boxed water, and we're not afraid to say it. Why do you call me when you're high? What?
That's
notes
kind of
did
an
I fucking
interesting
have for
take
this
on the
song?
booty call, right? He's like,
Yes.
he's like, you're not drunk, but you're just stoned.
Well, here's the thing: is I think at the time, this was like the edgiest shit you ever done heard. It was like,
2013.
yeah, I feel like there was sort of this like kind of understanding of like, oh yeah, sometimes people get tipsy and they say shit to their booty call. Why'd you only come when you're HIGH? Whoa.
Not to mention, this was the first song I ever heard by Arctic Monkeys. I was like, okay, this is dope.
It's like,
damn.
damn.
Wow. Yeah.
I will say, I watched the music video for this song today.
Oh.
oh my goodness gracious, not safe for work.
No.
I was watching it.
Why is Alex Turner so horny? I didn't realize he was so horny till
Alex
now.
Turner is so horny.
If you haven't gathered that, especially doing your research with every song, there's at least one lyric in each song that's like, okay, this man.
I guess you're right. Like, Fluorescent Adolescence is so horny.
Yeah. Every song's so
Yeah.
horny.
It's good though. I would be lying if I said it wasn't a banger.
It's a banger. It's a good song.
It's a banger. It's a wham damn slammer.
I just want to laugh at this lyric a little bit because it's written like Yoda. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you reply. And to my message you reply. He makes it rhyme, but he has to do it like Yoda. Why'd you only call me when you you do?
I feel like, especially when I was going through like lyric through lyric, I noticed like he does phrase things really particular, just to make it
Make
that,
it rhyme.
you
Because he
know?
has to rhyme with why do you only call me when you're high? So he can't say and reply to my message. He has to say and to my message you reply.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna listen to that like without thinking about it. Oh my god.
Damn it.
I mean, they're the same height, right?
Oh my god. Okay, short kings rise up. Short kings rise up.
I'm 5'8", I'm sorry.
All right. So should we talk about the next song?
Yeah.
we can-
Yeah.
I have
Trucker.
one note about the song Snap Out of It.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Quote, this sounds like the Arctic Monkeys wrote a song for a core conflict in a musical where everyone tries to tell the main character that they're delusional.
You really thought about that, yeah.
I really did. I think this is a standout song because it's super upbeat. I think that I don't know,
It's
something
not
about
as
that.
dense. It's not as dense as
It's
the other
not very
stuff.
dense. It's like catchy.
Mhm.
It's one of those like Kim Petras type beats
Mhm.
where you like hear the chorus once and you know it. And something about it to me gave musical
Snap
theater
out of it.
vibes.
Yeah, just the phrase "snap out of it."
I
I
was-
never thought about it till just now, but you're right. It is a
I was
music theater.
picturing like sharks and jets like snapping
Yeah.
towards each other like ooh. That is the note that I wrote. I also watched the music video for this song because there was a music video for this song. It was like the last single, I think. And it was just like a beautiful woman obsessing over Alex Turner. And I went, okay.
I wrote like two things about this song. One was that I really admired like the soft, like higher background vocals.
Mm.
Like throughout this album, he constantly has like step out of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like little like background vocals to like make his voice be like, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
But I really liked it in this song. I feel like it's really admirable. I don't know. The other thing I wrote was that the bridge, when he says, under a spell you're hypnotized, darling, how could you be so blind? It reminded me, it's kind of a tangent. This reminded me of a book I just finished called A Patch of Blue, which was later turned into a motion picture. And it's basically about this girl who's blind and meets an African American man, and this is in the 60s. So she grows up in this racist ass family, and she doesn't learn that he's African American until like later on, like after she falls in love with him. And like throughout this whole like relationship, he's basically like guiding her, like trying to get her to like understand like there's no reason you should hate black people. Like what the fuck? But it kind of reminded me like of that, like in this line, like you're under a spell, like your family has taught you this, like your whole life, like you've fallen in love with me, but you didn't even realize, you know, like the truth behind it, you know, like she's just listening to what other people tell her. And that's kind of like this whole song is about this girl possibly falling in love with somebody. Alex is like trying to convince her, almost like gaslight her and be like, hey, like be like, hey, like you don't even know what you're getting into, you know? Trying to like make her see both sides. So I thought that was like a very weird connection. My brain was like, wait, you just read a book recently? I just wanted to talk about that for a second. But yeah, I thought there was quite a few parallels in this song for some random reason.
That's interesting.
I dig it.
Do you guys want to talk about knee socks?
Yes!
Yes.
I'll let you guys go first, and then I have a bit to play.
My first note about this song is that Alex Turner sings the word Tuesday and he says Tuesday.
Oh, no.
He says Tuesday.
He's from Britain, though, isn't he?
He for sure is, bro.
Bro.
He says Tuesday, and that made me giggle.
That is funny.
That is silly goose nonsense. My second note about this song is that the bridge rips.
Does he really say an exceptional rainy Tuesday night?
Yes!
He says an exceptional rainy Tuesday night.
That just makes it so much more quaint. Like, that's better than saying Tuesday.
He said
Yeah.
Tuesday night.
It's really good. Yeah, this song, like, my notes literally say yes, yes, and yes. Because it's sexy, it's flirty, it's like dark and mysterious, and I don't know, like I really like this song, especially because like I can like picture like all of like the imagery that they create throughout the song, like when they talk about like the clock tower. I don't know if it's a clock tower. It just says the clock strikes 12 or whatever.
24-hour clock.
24-hour clock. Yes. But I picture like a clock tower in the rain.
Ooh.
Because it's exceptionally rainy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And on Tuesday,
I just picture the whole song. And it's just so beautiful. And sexy, I must say. And I also read on Genius, I'm pretty sure it was, that this is like perhaps like the sexiest song of like
ever written.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Miss Ma'am and her knee socks parading around.
Like I want to go buy some knee socks.
Girl, go to Party City.
Is that a Tumblr thing? Girls and knee
yes.
socks? I feel like that was
absolutely.
all over.
I wanted to wear knee socks today, but I don't have any. They were all socks that came up like almost just below my knee. I'm like, I can't show up like this. It's not knee socks.
Do you guys?
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I have to pee so bad.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's
so
fine.
sorry.
We'll come back to it.
I feel like this is a good right before a bit. Yeah. Guys, Zach's bit is gonna be so good. Just wait until after I pee.
Oh, it's not gonna live up to this. Okay, totally flush.
We have one song left on this album, which does not include, apparently, I saw on the internet that there was a Japanese and Polish bonus track.
What?
For AM. Dude, I went deep.
What?
There was a Japanese and Polish bonus track.
We never got it.
But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the song I Want to Be Yours, which, for those who don't know, is a reimagining of a poem by the poet John Cooper Clarke by the same name. And it's just kind of this like lovely poem where it was my intro for this episode. If you like your coffee hot, I'll be your coffee pot. It's just kind of like saying, I don't know, fucking whatever you want, I'll cater to you. I want to be yours.
Want to be your vacuum cleaner.
Breathing in your dust.
Right? That's the grossest.
I want to be your Ford Cortina. I looked up this car.
I will never rust.
I looked up this car and I
rust.
realized this is the kind of car I've been trying to explain to my stepdad. Because
Oh,
It's like one of my dream
That's
cars.
such a
I didn't
fucking
realize.
cool car. That's an Alex Turner car.
Literally, I sent it to my stepdad, and I was like, "This is the car I've been trying to explain to you." Because, like, imagine like you're driving behind it, the way that the windows are. It's like you see the entire car, like you
Yeah.
see through it entirely, and like I don't know why that's like so like Hollywood movie star-esque, I guess. That like it's just like a dream of mine, I guess, that I just like want to own a car like that. And then like I looked into it and stuff, and apparently the line that he says like I'll never rust, well, these are extremely capable of rusting.
Oh.
So it's kind of like haha, just kidding. Like they rust, okay?
Yeah.
So
So you think he's being facetious in this line
Yeah.
here? He's like,
I
I
think
will
he's-
never rust. Like,
He's like,
ah.
I'm gonna be the exception. Wink.
he's trying to be a
Oh,
smart
no.
ass, okay? Like with all these lines that are like kind of him like being a like basically begging to be like an object like of the woman.
That's kind of an interesting point.
It's kind of like he'll do anything to be with this woman, like including like picking up all of her broken pieces and the mess that she's trailed behind. Like I feel like that's kind of like the main point of this song. And then also like in a way it kind of ties in like the rest of the album. Like it kind of ties in all of the parts of the album because like throughout it, like he has this image of himself that's like he's like this bad boy that's like, yeah, I'll sleep around, like I'll party, I'll do it all, like I'll do everything that entails. But then like at the end, like he's finally like, all right, I want this woman, I'll do anything to have this woman, and if that means that I'm a coffee pot, all right,
So be it. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me simp on Maine. I will be
I will
anything
be
for
your
you.
fucking coffee pot.
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of just like runs himself dry though. Like throughout the whole album, like he's just like doing whatever he can to like be with a woman or whatever. But then like at the end, he like finally is like, this is what I'm going to do. Like this is the point of the album, is that I've found someone and I will do what I gotta, you know? Yeah.
We're sort of talking about Alex Turner being a simp. There's a line
Was that
that
word
says
invented in 2013?
no.
Okay.
No.
But there
he was
is
a simp before before it was cool.
So I mentioned earlier that this song is based off of a poem, right?
Yeah.
And so the lines are, hold your hair in deep devotion. And then the background vocals go, how deep? The next line is, at least as deep as the Pacific Ocean.
It's a good rhyme.
Here's the tea. Is the original poem, instead of Pacific, said Atlantic Ocean.
Oh.
So there are a couple theories as to why they might have swapped this. I'm pulling this from genius.com. The first reason is like at least as deep as the Pacific Ocean, like just from a strictly consonant perspective, like just sounds better, you know, instead of at least as deep as the Atlantic Ocean. Like that's
Is there less syllables? Pacific Atlantic
Ocean.
thing?
It's
I guess it sounds
smoother.
like
as deep as the Pacific Ocean. Like it's beautiful.
It does sound better.
it's
I
very
think.
like
Yeah.
choppy the way he does
Wait,
it.
what are
Totally.
the other oceans you could have picked? Indian?
No.
What are the other oceans? How many other oceans are there, Sarah?
Atlantic, Pacific, Indian.
Antarctic, at least as deep as the Antarctic Ocean.
That's not it. The second theory for why it may have been swapped for Pacific is because at the time the Arctic monkeys were based in LA.
Oh.
So there are a couple
They're,
other
like, right there.
LA, California references. The third theory, which is my favorite, is that, and I'm quoting, while both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans are on average around 13,000 feet deep, the Pacific Ocean has the deepest trench, the Mariana Trench,
Yo
which
Mama's
plummets
Trench.
down. Okay. Which plummets down to 36,000 feet below sea level. So I like to think in my heart of hearts that because Alex Turner knew
He
that
knew
the
the
Pacific
science.
Ocean contained the Mariana Trench, he knew that it was deeper than any part of the original
saw
poem's ocean.
Transformers 3,
Exactly.
where they hide the Decepticons in the deepest part of the ocean. And he was like, you know what?
I'm
That's in
going
the
to make this
Pacific, baby."
scientifically accurate. The Atlantic Ocean ain't that deep, baby. If you want to go for real depth, we're going to the
We're going
Pacific.
to the Pacific.
Fuck the original poem. I'm switching the lyrics.
I'm playing my cards with Transformers too, man. I gotta go with the Mariana Trench.
I think with that, have we covered our bases? Do you guys have anything else you want to call out?
I just wanted to mention like the themes
Yes.
throughout the album. Like every song except for I'm pretty sure Mad Sounds is about a woman.
Yes, literally.
Could be about a woman.
Could be. That's what I thought originally. Hey,
Sarah is looking at me
okay,
with one eye
let me
wink.
be honest. Let me be honest.
And I didn't mean that disrespectfully. I'm just saying it could be. And it's in the realm of possibilities.
Okay.
I'm winking because I'm like, I think this is about a woman.
I thought like before I did all this research, just like knowing the song, I thought it was about a woman. But then doing research, I was like, I don't know. I think it's simply about music. And that they wanted that little break, you know? I don't know.
Could
It's
be.
just I don't know. That's just my little theory.
Arabella is the love of song.
Is number one party anthem about a woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about him being in a strip club.
Oh.
I think.
It's
I don't
not
know.
about the Miley Cyrus song Party Anthem in the USA? No.
Different island.
Okay.
No. Okay, continuing with the themes though. It's definitely just about his relations with women and all that entails, including like the lust, obviously.
Mhm. Lots of lust.
The rush of sneaking around and the one night stands and like the heartache of uncertainty. And that's like where all the emotion is driven from. Because it seems like whenever he's talking about like the sexual parts of it, it's like, well, yeah, this is like cool. Like this is fun. But then when he's talking about like his emotions, it's like, whoa.
He's
It's like
ouch.
it's like, wait, I got caught up in this woman. You know? It's like, wait. Or like I'm trying to get this woman, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to be uncovered there, for sure. But yeah, that's kind of what I thought like the themes were. It was mainly about different women, or maybe, who knows, a woman that was just like portrayed in a different way, kind of. In every song, it was like a different story.
I have another fun point to make about the whole album. Did you guys know what AM stands for?
Arctic Monkeys.
That was also my assumption.
So that's one theory, and he talks about it because the Velvet Underground had an album called VU, and he talks about stealing it. But there's another possible, thing that it could stand for, and it's amplitude modulation.
Okay.
Fucking nerdy.
Which I had to look up, and it's really sciencey, and I didn't understand most of it, but I understood a little bit of it. And when you Google amplitude modulation, you get waves going up, and then small, and then going up.
This bitch. Zach, you brilliant genius.
Has to do with a lot of how radio waves work. Amplitude modulation is a way you can measure radio waves, which are waves that emit into space.
Yeah.
Which he talks about space a lot.
Yes. Zach.
So this is also an album about women and his relationship with those emotions, but also
music.
Music and space.
And airwaves and making music.
And he tied that all the shit together, and it took Drunk Zach a minute to put all those pieces together.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is
Right?
amazing.
When I read all that, I was like, I knew this was a good album. I just didn't know why.
Damn.
That like literally pulls together the entire album.
It does so good.
So good.
Let's give this bitch a Rebruce.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I have an idea.
Horniest album in space.
That's good. Mine does not top that.
I was gonna say the Rebruski for #1 party anthem.
That's really good too.
That's really good. Mine was just most likely to make a woman buy knee socks and cigarettes.
Damn it!
I don't know. I feel like we didn't pull all those
are all
together.
three good. Can we reward 3 separate Rabushkis?
Zach, can you remind me what yours was?
Horniest album in space.
Sarah's is good.
Yours is good too, Kassie. Damn it.
We never have this problem. We never have so many good Rabushkis.
All right. Alex Turner and Arctic Monkeys, please collect your Rebruski for the most likely to make a woman buy knee socks and cigarettes.
Thank you so much for listening. We are Album Rebruce in 2022, and we will continue being Album Rebruce for the rest of this new year. If you want to check us out on Twitter and Instagram, we are at Album Rebruce. If you want to take a look at our little cutie little baby little website, it is www.albumrebruce.com.
That's so cute. I love that.
A giant, phenomenal thank you to Cameron Bopp. Shout out, Cameron.
Yay!
Cameron, can we get a shout out for the folks at home? Hey, Cameron's in the room with us tonight. He is our phenomenal editor, does a great job editing the show, and he also wrote the theme song, which you heard an hour ago and about to hear again. A giant thank you to Kassie for coming on and picking my favorite album of 2022.
It's the only one.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like the show, consider telling your friends about it. We don't pay to advertise the show at all. And we're really happy to see our numbers keep growing. So keep on telling folks about us.
I just wanted to say a quick thank you for having me. It's been such a
Yeah.
pleasure. And also thank you to Arctic Monkeys and Alex Turner. Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so we're at the point in the show. We're about to finish up. And Kassie, we'll need you to do this as well. We like to get really close to the mic and very tenderly, ASMR style, we'll say goodbye to the people listening at home, all right?
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Good night.
Have a good night. Sweet dreams.